Folks, back again, Bathrobe Chronicles number 117. This is most likely a waste of time, but I want to do it anyway. I'm sure all of you have heard about Edwards's mistress. I don't even know if I can pronounce her name. Riley Hunter, I believe. Whatever her name is. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, she just did a, actually I would call it an expose in GQ. You know, a bunch of photos and all that kind of mess. And talks about Johnny, you know, John Edwards. And I want to make a, actually I do have a couple of points to make, I think. But I wanted to point out one thing. I'll tell you, you just can't get away from it. This is a quote. Hunter said she told him he shouldn't run for the White House and suggested he at least wait until April 2007 because, listen up now, her intuition and astrology suggested he would have a difficult first 3 months of the year. There you go. You know, no matter where you run and hide, you can't get away from the old intuition and the astrology. But really, the point I wanted to make is, you know, I'm stumbling around. Let me light a cigarette and get a pause here. I think when we would hope, at least ideally, that our president is concentrating on running our country, world affairs, and dealing with, you know, with all the things that a president has to do. The last thing a president needs, and the last thing we want, are any distractions. You know, distractions that aren't necessary, so to speak, to take away from what the president is doing. I mean, we really don't. And I don't care what anyone says. When you're screwing around, so to speak, having an affair, whatever you want to call it, I mean, you have to be preoccupied at times. You know, you're trying to, let's face it, you're president of the United States, you have the Secret Service, you have, you know, the whole world looking at you, and you're screwing around. I mean, how much of your day you spent whistling Dixie and thinking about, oh, how am I going to get together with Peggy Sue or whatever, you know, and the deceit and conniving and all the other stuff that someone in that position would have to do. We really don't need people like that in the White House. Okay, I know you can point back to no telling how many presidents have had girlfriends or mistresses or whatever you want to call them. And that may well be. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is we don't need anybody in the White House who is being distracted by things they don't need to be distracted about. I think there's also, you know, looking at this Edwards character, my understanding, according to Hunter spilling her guts, so to speak, the first night he meets her, he screws her. You know, boom, just like that. You're talking about poor impulse control. I mean, come on. This guy was going to, like, you know, have his finger on the so-called red button, and he doesn't have enough control, you know, to meet an attractive woman and, you know, walk on by. Evidently not. I don't know if I've made my point or not, but what I'm trying to say is people who are in a position of responsibility, like the president of our country. I mean, we want that man and woman to be fine-tuned, man. We want them homed in on us, you know, and helping us. And I think we can say the same thing right on down the line. Governors, senators, you know, like that dork Mark Sanford. I'm hiking the Appalachian Trail. I mean, come on. You know, we just don't need these kind of people, folks. Am I saying it's not being a human being or something, you know, if you do these things? I mean, I think any of us can understand it happening. Whether it should happen or not is another matter. But I think that when we get to a certain level, you know, we shouldn't expect that. And I don't think we should. I don't think we should accept it. You know, people say, oh, well, you know, it's only sex, oh, you know, whatever. No, I don't think that's the case. You know, there's two issues here. There's any kind of ethics or morals you want to throw in about should, you know, someone be, you know, running around their wives or whatever. That's one thing. But the other thing is can a person truly represent us and do their job to 100% if this is what they're doing? And I would make the case for saying, no, they can't. And we really don't need those kinds of people in the government. I mean, come on. You know, if you want to screw around and wait till after your term's over or something, or resign or something, you surely cannot give 100% when you're doing things like that. And also, we automatically know you're a liar. The question is what else do you lie about, if anything? Anyway, I guess that's it. So, for whatever it's worth, if anything, as Pat Condell would say, peace, folks, peace, and don't screw around out there.